All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's video, which, as I am recording this, a long way from today. I am doing some pre-recording. This is a video for Saturday, August 9th. I am at a hockey function today, so a bit of a day vacation, and so re-recording, getting everything set so the weekend I'm just free to do what I need to do. All right, so today we are talking about the 5 worst teams of all time in the FPHL, 5 worst years that were had. And this counters the last video I had from this past Sunday, which was the top 5 best teams. All right, so just like the last video, I'm got 5, but I also have 2 honorable mentions that I want to throw in. And yeah, I broke out the deer once again. Speaking of which, spoiler alert: this is not number 1. All right. Okay, let's begin with our list. As you can see, we've already got 2 on the board. Our first honorable mention is the original Danville Dashers, the first iteration. And this was their first year that they were in existence, the 2011 to 2012 season. Very odd, you know, the league's all in the Northeast, mainly New York, Connecticut. Started off the year in Vermont. That didn't last long. And then you had one team way out in Danville, Illinois. And this team went 634-3. That was 20 points, a 155 win percentage, which that mark 5th all time, 5th worst all time. But I felt like a couple teams kind of topped that. All right. The team wasn't really bad for a full season, 43-game season. The goal differential was minus 86, meaning they let up 86 more goals than they scored. That wasn't bad. They were averaging 3.5 goals scored per game. Now, this is an interesting team. Some of the people you had on this team, Justin Barr. Yeah, that's a familiar name. Now working for the Biloxi Breakers in the front office. He led the team with 51 points scored. There was another guy named Joe Pace Jr. He was a member of this team. This was one of the craziest stats I've ever seen. So he had 2 goals, and he had a shot percentage of 1,000 because he only had 2 shots on goal all season. Scored on both of them. That's one of the weirdest stats. One of the other people on this team, Chris Affinati, he had 12 goals and 24 points. Affinati, of course, he came back for a spell to play for this iteration of the Dashers. Sorry about the noise. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Okay, our second honorable mention goes to the Delore Thunder of 2021 to 2022. This was the first year that the league was back to full operations after the whole COVID pandemic. And the team, yeah, they struggled. 9-42-2. That was good for 26 points. A 164 win percentage. The team started off losing their first 17 games of the season before on New Year's Day they ended up beating Binghamton Black Bears. January 1st, 2022. The goal differential for this team was a minus 126. And this team really struggled mightily, but they won 4 of their last 11 games, which doesn't sound fantastic, but compared to how they were doing before reaching the last 11 games, it was an improvement. This was the first full year that we saw Trevor Babin playing in goal. Had a 550 goals against and an 891 save percentage. If you watch this team play with their constant, it wasn't even dump and chase. It was just dump and change. So yeah, a lot of shots on goal, a lot of rubber that Babin faced. So an 891 save percentage was pretty darn good. Ryan Marker, fantastic player, 42 goals, 95 points. Yanni Lariakos was on this team for a while, 19 games played, and he had 44 points in those 19 games. This team could score. They just gave up a lot of shots and a lot of goals. Alex Basie, he had 200 penalty minutes to lead the league that year. They averaged 3.3 goals scored per game, but gave up 5.68. So that was a lot. So that is our honorable mentions. So now we go to numbers 5 and 4. We'll uncover that. And we have the first, the Delore Thunder of the following year. Now, if you notice, more points, 3 more points, and a better win percentage. But scored less, gave up more goals, and they had that awful 28-game losing streak, which nobody thought anyone would pass the Battle Creek Grumblebees, but they did. I just gave away somebody down the list. All right, so this year a minus 145 in goal differential. This team, the fan support was great for this team. It really was. Played in tiny little center ice arena on the Delaware State Fairgrounds. Only sat 700 people. Almost every game was a sellout. It was wall-to-wall people for the seating that was available. They drew the fans in. The Delaware State Fair Committee terminated the lease on May 1st, 2023, after the season was done. Trevor Babin was no longer with the team. He had moved on to Motor City, but Trevor Martin came in and played fantastic, 424 and 4. And then late in the year, Martin had an issue where he was not able to play for a spell. And in comes some guy named Spencer Kozlowski. And I gave him the name of the Wizard of Koz because, 4-9-1 in 7 of his starts. He faced 50 shots on goal or more. And he did a great job. Denny Gafarov was the lead scorer on the team, 51 points. Houston Wilson was on this team. He had 45 points. You also had TJ Delaney, played a couple of years in Motor City, 23 points. And somebody who's ended up having a nice career, Charlie Bedard, defenseman, now with the hat tricks. They were all on this team. 311 goals allowed. Despite some talent on the team, I'm sorry, I gotta say it, the coaching style, terrible. Lou Santini was the head coach, and basically, again, it was more of the dump and change. So if they got a lead, chances were they were going to give up that lead in the third period as they just went in this dump and change mode, just sitting back on their heels, ready to face the next rush by the opposition instead of pressuring the puck into the offensive zone. 311 goals allowed. All right, number 4, the North Shore Saints. North Shore Knights. They were the St. Clair Shores Fighting Saints the year before. lost the arena that they were playing in, so they moved, playing in arena in Ontario. North Shore Knights, 638-0. It's 18 points, a 136 save percentage. This team folded mid-season, February 17th of 2018. They, due to low attendance, they basically petitioned the league to forfeit all of their home games after New Year. They continued to play a lot of road games. A lot of venues were changed from home to road. And St. Clair Shores the year before. Now North Shore Knights just didn't last. Minus 145 in goal differential. Lead scorer was Josh Newberg. 27 points, but a minus 50 rating. Brandon Contrado, he was the GM for this team. Played a few games, played 12 games, scored 16 points. Peter Panachik, this was his first outing in the FPHL. 17 points in 14 games played. Another familiar name, Christian Pavlas, was in goal. 2-10-0, a 558 goals against, and an 871 save percentage. But the next year, he goes to Carolina and gets himself prominently featured on what I rated last week as the best team of all time in Fed history. So, kind of an interesting scenario there. But yeah, a lot of people forget about the North Shore Knights because they didn't even finish out their season. All right, let's move on. All right, I guess I'll just uncover all three because I already gave away number one before. Number three. Here you go. The Dashers. Number three. Yep, there were a couple of teams I really feel like were worse than last year's Dashers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But many of you remember the Dashers because it was just this past season. 3-49-4, 12 points, an 0.71 winning percentage, and that infamous 43 consecutive losses, shattering the record that was first set by Battle Creek and then topped, or I don't know if you say bottomed by Delaware. And now, we just blew 28 games out of the water, 43 games in a row. And so many of those games in the latter half of that losing streak were very close. I was pulling for this team day after day after day. I developed a very good relationship with a lot of the players, some of the staff, and I was pulling from it. And it was such a horrible feeling to see the team up by 2 goals, and there's like 10 minutes left, and they give it away. It was heartbreaking. This is a team that was famously abandoned by Barry Soskin. The league took over operations, very hush-hush, about 30 games into the season. We had this. It was a mess. It was a mess. So Brandon Stoychevsky, one of the bright points in this team, he comes to the team, 26 points, and then gets an SP call up. And that was the last time we've seen Brandon in the Fed. Good for him. He ended up having a solid year for Quad City. Justin Browson, he came kind of out of retirement to lead his hometown team, 25 points. Fan favorite Juwan Davis, he chipped in 20 points. Always got a smile on his face. The goaltending duo started off the year as Oscar Wahlgren and Parker Rutherford. Eventually, Wahlgren said, "I'm done. I want out." Went back home to Sweden. Parker Rutherford stuck it out. 3-31-3, 534 goals against, 891 save percentage. And one of the things that really stood out with this team was the trio of coaches. First, you had AJ Tesserero, He led the team through, I believe it was 28 contests. The league had taken over at this point. They wanted Tesserero out, and so they brought in Stephen Asso. I don't mean disrespect to the guy, but he's not a good coach. He was the coach of North Shore as well, or one of the coaches. Just no bueno. Anyway, and then Paul McLean came in, kind of righted the ship, and the team was competitive in their last 10 games. Team folded just 3 days after the regular season ended. It was the day of the play-in games for the playoffs, and they make an announcement, yeah, we're done. So, kind of sad. But anyway, they were not the worst, though. Number 2, Steel City Warriors. You have to go way back to 2014, 2015 before you see about these guys. This team didn't even start off the year. The team started off as, under a different management, the club named the Southwest Pennsylvania Magic. Played one game, and things were such a mess financially that the team revoked the charter for the membership charter for the club. And so quickly, a new owner was found. The team reformed and became the Steel City Warriors, playing in a nearby arena. 343-2, just 10 points, 069 win percentage. They started off the year with a 14-game losing streak, ended the year with an 18-game losing streak. In that 18 games, they were outscored 175-43. Ended up the year with a 227 negative goal differential. Gave up 364 goals in the season. That is still a Fed record. Denis Semenov, he was the leading scorer, 46 points. MJ Graham was on this team, 43 points. You also had Zach Tatterin, who some of you Blue Ridge fans will remember, 43 points. Edgar Zojelinch, yep. For you River Dragon fans, yeah, Ozelinch played on the Steel City Warriors, had 157 penalty minutes. Their best goalie was Dalton McGrath. He went 3-14-1, a 570 goals against, and an 896 save percentage. Southwest Pennsylvania Magic, they start the season, they lose their first game 10-2. Things are such a mess that their membership's revoked, and you get this new Steel City Warriors. Most of the lineup was the same. And yeah, the team was not good at all. But I still say the number one, the worst team ever, still got to be the Battle Creek Rumblebees. Here's a team that went 1-45-2, infamously winning guaranteed win night in Elmira. Note the Elmira Enforcers, who were a very good team this year, were just absolutely decimated with injuries. They only dressed 15 players for this game. One of them was owner Nichols, playing 55 years old, or no, was he 55 then? I forget how old he was, but his playing days had been long since past, and he did his best to play, made it through the first 2 periods, and was just so gassed he just ended up just staying on the bench in the 3rd period. Battle Creek won that game 2-1. Their only win of the season. His team was so bad they only scored 94 goals all season. Ryan Alvis was the leading scorer, 30 points in 46 games. Stavros Soilis had 20 points in 31 games. There were only 8 players that had 10 points or more for the whole team. Joel Eisenhower, the best of the goaltenders, 1-22-2, 597 goals against, 881 save percentage. And part of what caused this, I've done a video in the past about the Battle Creek Rumblebees. You can go back and watch that. I think it was from 2 summers ago. The team was part of a rapid expansion that the league had done for the 2019-2020 season. They wanted to get to 10 teams for their 10th season. So this team was announced on July 23rd of 2019. Puck drop just not even 3 months later. Wasn't even a full 3 months that this team had to get up and running. And yeah, it was disastrous. So there you go. These are the worst teams, and it's like a train wreck. You can't help but watch. You can't look away. There it is. So anyway, again, not picking on these teams because, like I found out with the Dashers, I've got to talk about the Dashers just for a little bit. Since it's such recent memory, again, I had the chance to meet a lot of these guys and get to know them. And these guys were really close. The locker room was tight, so it wasn't a problem of chemistry. They just, they had everything in the world set against them. I did do a video a couple months ago. Dashers, what went wrong? Go back. You can watch that. Talk a little bit more about what went down, why the team did not succeed. But great group of guys, and I love them. I got to give a shout out because I know he watches these videos. Yosuke Jumanji, who went back home to Japan to play hockey there. I miss you, man. I miss you. I miss your smile. Miss seeing you play. Hope you're having a great time back home. Anyway, all right, so that is it. That is our video for today. We will go back to live videos, not live, but videos done the day that I am actually posting them for next week. But again, since I am at a function today and I'm here on your device, I wanted to pre-record this and get this done. All right, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And make sure to tell a friend. Make sure you're following me on Facebook. That's where all the current news gets posted, except for today, being that I'm in the function. I won't be posting any live updates. I'll get caught up on Sunday. I'll try to anyway. But anyway, so there you go. Make sure you're following me on Facebook and the Flash Audio Network as well. Those links are on my Facebook page. All right, I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. You guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll see you very, very soon.